Awesome. Thank you so much, Erin. Welcome, everyone. Hi there. My name is Jennifer Eberle, and I'm a manager in the Applied Science Co-op program. And I really look forward to speaking to you today about the Applied Science Co-op program, namely what it is, how it works, and the benefits of participating in the co-op program. By joining the co-op program, you can actually start building your engineering career while you're still a student. I've worked in the co-op program for the last 8 years, and many of my former students, or even current students for that matter, that are looking to graduate this spring, have told me that participating in the co-op program has been the best part of their university experience. So for some of you, you may not know or be familiar with what co-op is. So co-op is actually short for cooperative education. And cooperative education is simply a structured co-curricular program that allows you to combine your traditional in the classroom-based education with really practical hands-on experience that you acquire from industry. And as you can expect, this requires a partnership or collaboration between UBC itself and our employer partners who work together to prepare and produce career-ready graduates. Now at UBC, cooperative education is an optional program that students can choose to participate in while pursuing their degree. And students do have to apply for admission to the co-op program. So there's lots of really great reasons to join the co-op program. But the one thing that we hear from our employers is that they are looking not only for recent engineering graduates, they want engineering graduates with experience. It's unfortunate, but nowadays having a degree is simply just not enough. Employers are expecting students with experience when they graduate. So co-op is a great way for you to gain practical and valuable technical engineering related work experience throughout your degree, and it really allows you to apply what you're learning in the classroom to actual real-world problems in industry. And then not only that, you can take what you're learning in industry and bring it back to what you're learning into the classroom, and that can also help inform the future direction of your career studies. And when you're going to be out there working in industry, you're not going to be working there by yourself. You're going to be working alongside fellow engineers and other industry professionals. And that's going to allow you to network and make valuable connections with other engineers and professionals and build your professional network. And while you're working, I'm not sure if you're all familiar with it, but for engineers, if you're interested in pursuing and getting your professional engineer's designation, in order to earn that designation, the first thing you need is your engineering degree. And then you need to acquire at least 4 years of engineering experience working under a professional engineer. So if you're in the co-op program, you can start working towards that 4 years of work experience required for the professional engineer's designation while you're still a student. And by participating in the co-op program, this also gives you a really great opportunity to try working at different companies, have different positions, work in different industries, both here in BC, in Canada, or around the world, all before you graduate. Additionally, the program really helps you also learn and navigate the hiring process. So we're going to be helping you in the program figuring out how to find jobs, how to do an effective job search, how to put forward a really strong application package with a resume and a cover letter that's really going to attract a prospective employer to then want you bring you in for the interview. And then we'll also coach you on how to really ace the interview. And you're going to be doing this all with the dedicated support of a designated co-op coordinator who's going to be there every step of the way with you. They're kind of like going to be your career coach that's going to support you. And we also possess really specific discipline knowledge that's going to be really helpful for you in your job search. So how does the co-op program work? So students who are in the co-op program will then essentially alternate between periods of academic study in the classroom and then go into periods or study terms, work terms in the workplace. So your first work term, if you're in the co-op program, will be the summer following your second year study. And then you'll complete all of your work terms before you reach your fourth and final year of academic study. And you do have to graduate on an academic term, not a co-op work term. All engineering disciplines at UBC, as well as across both campuses of UBC, are eligible to participate in the co-op program. Participation in the program does add 1 year of study to your Bachelor's of Applied Science degree, but you graduate not only with a degree, as well as 16 to 20 months of relevant work experience. It's really going to help kickstart your post-graduation career. Students who are interested in pursuing the co-op program are required to apply for admission into the program, and that will take place in September of either your second or third year of study. And the other important thing to know about co-op is that we're not a placement program. We don't place students or give jobs to students. Co-op simply mimics the real-world job search process. So students are required to apply for and compete for co-op opportunities, and it's our employers who decide ultimately which students they want to hire. And at the end of the day, the student themselves are responsible for securing their jobs. But we in the co-op program as co-op coordinators are really here to help and support you in that. And we want to make sure that as best as possible that all of our students secure employment. The job search, so when you're looking for your future work term, will commence about 4 to 6 months in advance of your scheduled work term. So if your first work term is in the summer, so from May to August, you'll be starting that job search thinking about, November, December, you'll be starting to think about, I should start submitting some applications for jobs for the coming summer term. Students who successfully complete 4 co-op work terms while in the program will earn the co-op designation on their transcript and on their degree parchment. I know some of you are very visual learners, so you're probably trying to figure out, how does that actually look really? I'm alternating between study and work. So here I'm showing you a sample co-op schedule, just to give you a sense of what it might look like. There's many different schedules, and they will depend on when you are admitted into the co-op program and what engineering discipline that you are in. However, just to give you a sense of what this would look like. So this, for example, is a schedule for a student who's applied for admission to the co-op program in September of their second year. And as I mentioned, their first work term will be that summer following second year. So in this case, the student is following what we call our 8-4-8 sequence. So they have 8 months of work experience, a study term, another 4 months of work, come back to school for 4 months, and then go out for 8 months, and then come back to school to complete their final year of study, and then they graduate. So these schedules have been put together quite closely with each engineering department and discipline to make sure that they allow the student to meet not only their academic requirements, but their co-op requirements without unnecessarily delaying their degree progression. As with any academic program, changes can be made to your schedule. However, before you do that, you'll want to sit down with your co-op coordinator and your engineering advisor to make sure that that will work for your courses as well. And last but not least, as I mentioned, you do need to end your degree program on an academic term, not a co-op work term. So you may be wondering, why UBC Applied Science Co-op? You have a lot of choices out there, but I'm proud to say that UBC has the largest co-op program in Western Canada, and that's predominantly from our engineering co-op program, our applied science co-op program, and our science co-op program. This past summer, over 1,500 students in our program completed a summer work term, which is fantastic. And 80% of the students that were looking for a job this past summer were successful in securing a co-op work term. And we've also just completed our intake process for this current year, and we've just admitted just over 900 students into the co-op program this year. Okay, there are fees associated with participating in the co-op program, and there's 2 main fees that you need to be aware of. And the first fee is our administration and workshop fee, which is currently right now $266.75. And this is a one-time fee that you pay upon admission into the co-op program, and it helps pay for the workshops or the pre-employment training workshops that you're required to attend and complete prior to embarking on your first co-op job search. The other fee as a co-op student that you're required to pay is our co-op program fee, or some of our students call it co-op tuition. And this is a fee that you have to pay for every 4-month work term that you secure in our program. So right now, the fee per work term is $821.75. So you will have to pay that every 4 months. If you were successfully to complete 4 work terms over the duration of your time in UBC Engineering, you would be paying about just over around $3,300 just towards the co-op program fee. However, all of your work terms are paid work terms. And so on average, if you were to complete 16 months of paid employment, and if we take the average monthly salary that our students have earned, so in 2021, the average salary our students earned was about $3,400 per month. If we times that by 16 months, your gross income could be close to $55,000. So even if you have to pay those fees for participating in the co-op program, you're still out, or you're still going to graduate with, a good $50,000. It's going to go a long way to helping you pay for your engineering degree. Okay. So there are lots of different employers that we work with, and we have strong relationships with actually thousands of employers all across BC, Canada, as well as internationally. This slide really just shows just a snapshot, just a drop in the bucket of all the employers that we work with on a yearly basis. But these employers, you may be wondering, why do they want to participate in their co-op program? And so our employer partners come back to us time and time again because they know by coming to our program, they have access to a pre-selected, pre-screened group of engineering students who are extremely enthusiastic, adaptable, and high achieving. And they know they've worked with our program for many, many years, and they know what these students are capable of. And they always have really great success with our students. So they keep coming back to us to recruit their next co-op student. It also gives them the opportunity to be involved in preparing the next generation of engineers. So they're there mentoring and training the future generation of engineers. And additionally, all of our co-op employers typically use the co-op program as a way to screen and identify future talent. So if you have a fantastic experience in a company and the company loves you, there's a really strong chance that you're going to be getting a full-time offer to return to that employer after graduation. Now, I do want to make mention that there is no pre-approved list of co-op employers. Any organization or company can be a co-op employer, provided they are willing to provide you with an engineering and technical related work experience, and it's going to be paid, and that you're going to be supervised and monitored. Okay, so I know we talked a little bit about the fees associated with the co-op program, and you might be wondering, where are all those fees going towards? But all of those fees, when you're part of the co-op program, you have access to a lot of resources that are exclusive to co-op students. So any student that is not in the co-op program do not have access to these resources. So the first and foremost resource that you have access to that I mentioned earlier was our pre-employment training workshops. This is where we're really going to work with you and help you get prepared for that first job search, polishing up your resume, getting your cover letter looking fantastic, and really helping prepare you for what to expect in an interview. And then after the workshops, you're going to be assigned a designated co-op coordinator who's going to be your person that you can go to with any questions that you have about the co-op program. We can sit down with you. We can review your application packages, give you some feedback. We can help prepare you for future interviews and give you some tips and tricks that we have learned from previous students that have worked there about what to expect in the interview. So hopefully you can ace the interview. We also, as a co-op student, have access to our exclusive job board we call PD Portal. And this is where you'll find hundreds of co-op employers who post jobs specifically with our co-op program with the goal of hiring a UBC Engineering co-op student. So this is a great resource to find lots of great opportunities all across Canada. As well, we also encourage students, not only the PD Portal is a great resource, but we also encourage students to be leveraging any connections that they have with friends or family in order to secure a position. And last but not least, I really have to mention that co-op jobs, unfortunately, are not guaranteed. We cannot, obviously, I would love for all of our students to have co-op jobs, but the economy will ultimately dictate how many jobs are available out there. Okay. Last but not least, I'll just quickly wrap up just to give you a sense of two student experiences who have been through our program, so you just get a sense of what your co-op journey might look like. So Tanya is a manufacturing student in our program, and she's completed 4 positions with 4 different employers. So first she worked at UBC as an academic assistant. She then went on to work at Labatt Breweries as a supply chain intern. She followed that up with a position with McKinsey & Company, which is a consulting organization. And then lastly, she finished her co-op work experience as a specialist intern at Microsoft. Next, Ingawari, she's an integrated co-op student in our program. She worked with 3 different organizations during her time in the co-op program. She started off at IBM as a business analyst intern. She then went on to be an engineering assistant at TransLink. And then lastly, she finished her co-op work experience working as a operations strategy and maintenance intern at Kinross. If you have any other questions about the co-op program, I strongly encourage you to check out our website. This QR code will take you directly to our website, or check us out on Instagram. We have lots of great stories on there of students reporting, providing experiences or stories about their experiences while on the co-op, on our co-op work terms, for you to get a sense of what your co-op journey might look like.
Awesome, Jennifer. Thank you so much. Jennifer is also going to be sticking around in the advising Q&A session, which is starting now. So you can go ask all of your questions. I know there's some great questions coming in. Jennifer, one question that was voted to the top that I'll ask you just quickly, if we can just wrap up with that one.
Sure.
So you talked a lot about support that's provided by the co-op advisors. So if a student finds themselves at a company and it's not working for them, what sort of support, or is there support for them in that case?
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I should mention that we're all about getting you the job, but we're also there to help support you through your journey in the workplace. So if you have any concerns at all about, how your work term is going in the industry or in the company, definitely come to us. We can work with you to help navigate that situation for sure. We will support you 100%.
Perfect. Thank you so much, Jennifer.
Bye, everyone.